What are you doing here?
Waiting to see you. I've been here for hours. Is this the way you attend to your business?
I've been away exactly 20 minutes for a cup of tea. How did you get in?
The staff. Why don't you employ a woman and give our sex a chance?
What have you come for?
Viv, let's go and enjoy the Saturday half-holiday somewhere, like the staff.
Can't afford it. I shall put in another 6 hours work before I go to bed.
Can't afford it, can we? Aha, look here. Gold, Viv. Gold.
Where did you get it?
Gambling. Poker.
Smeeter than stealing it. No, I'm not coming.
But Miss Horn, I want to talk to you ever so seriously.
Very well. Sit down in Honoria's chair and talk here. I like 20 minutes chat after tea. No use groaning.
Well, I want to know what you've done, what arrangements you've made.
Everything was settled 20 minutes after I arrived here. Honoria has found the business too much for her this year and was on the point of sending for me and proposing a partnership when I walked in. What did my mother say?
Nothing at all. I said you'd gone to town on particular business.
Well,
they were too flabbergasted to say anything. After tea, they got up and left, and I've not seen them since.
That's all right.
Do you intend to stick in this confounded place?
Yes. I shall never take a holiday again for as long as I live.
Look here, Viv. We must have an explanation. We parted the other day under a complete misunderstanding.
Well, clear it up.
You remember what Crofts said?
Yes.
That revelation was supposed to bring about a complete change in the nature of our relations. It put us on the footing of being sisters.
Yes.
Have you ever had a sister?
No.
Then you can have no idea what being sisters feels like. Now, I've had lots of sisters, and the fraternal feeling is quite familiar to me. But let me assure you, my feelings for you are nothing like it. In short, dear Viv, it's love's young dream.
Same feeling, Frankie. That brought your father to my mother's feet. Is that it?
I strongly object, Viv, to have my feelings compared to any of that which the Reverend Samuel is capable of. And I object still more to a comparison of you to your mother. Anyhow, I don't believe the story. I've taxed my father with it and obtained from him what I consider a tantamount to a denial.
What did he say?
He said there must be some mistake.
Do you believe him?
I'm prepared to take his word against Crofts.
Does it make any difference? I mean, in your imagination or conscience? For of course it makes no real difference.
None whatever to me.
Nor to me.
But this is ever so surprising. I thought our whole relations were altered the moment those words went out of that brute's muzzle.
No, it wasn't that. I didn't believe him. I only wish I could.
What?
I think siblings would be a very suitable relation for us.
You really mean that?
Yes. It's the only relation I care for, even if we could afford any other. I mean that.
My dear Viv, why didn't you say so sooner? I understand, of course.
Understand what?
Oh, I'm no fool in the ordinary sense. Only in the scriptural sense of doing everything wise man once declared folly after trying them himself on the most extensive scale. I see I am no longer Vivian's little girl. Don't worry, I shall never call you Vivian's again. At least until you get tired of your new little girl, whoever she may be.
My new little girl?
Must be a new little girl. Always happens that way. No other way, in fact.
None that you know of, fortunately for you.
My curse upon town caller, whoever he may be.
It's Praed. He's going to Italy and wants to say goodbye. I asked him to call this afternoon. Go and let him in.
We can continue our conversation after his departure. Praed, ever so delighted to see you. Come in.
How do you do, Miss Warren? I wish I could persuade you to try Italy.
What for?
quite saturate yourself to romance and beauty, of course.
It's no use, Praed. Viv's a little Philistine. She's insensible to my beauty and indifferent to my romance.
Mr. Praed, once and for all, there is no beauty and no romance in life for me.
You won't say that if you come with me to Verona and on to Venice.
You will cry with delight at living in such a beautiful world.
What is the matter?
Hello, Viv.
Can you find no better example of pure beauty and romance than Brussels to talk to me about?
Well, I'm sure it's very different from Verona.
I'm sure it's the same in both places.
It's no use, Praed. She thinks your enthusiasm frivolous.
Hold your tongue, Frankie. Don't be silly.
Do you call this good manners, Praed?
Do you want me to take him away, Miss Warren?
I'm afraid we have disturbed you at your work.
Sit down. I'm not ready to go back to work yet. You both think I have an attack of nerves. Not a bit of it. But there are two subjects I want dropped, if you don't mind. One of them is love's young dream in any shape or form. And the other is the romance and beauty of life, especially Ashton and the gaiety of Brussels. You're welcome to any illusions you have left on these subjects. I have none.
I also shall remain permanently single until you change your mind.
I'm afraid there's nothing else in the world that I can talk about. The gospel of art is the only one that I can preach.
Stop it with that horrible cant.
There's a touch of poetry about you today, Viv, which hitherto has been lacking.
Frankie,
Aren't you a little unsympathetic?
no. It's good for me. It keeps me from being sentimental. Beautifully sentimental. By moonlight.
Take care, dear Viv. Don't give yourself away.
Do you think Mr. Praed doesn't know all about my mother?
I must assure you that though I know your mother is an unmarried woman, I do not respect her any less on that account.
I respect her more.
Hear, hear.
Neither of you know nothing. Your guesses are innocence itself, compared with the truth.
Mrs. Warren, is anything the matter?
There is nothing I despise more than the wicked convention that protects these things by forbidding a woman to mention them. And yet I can't tell you. The two infamous words that describe what my mother is are ringing in my ears and struggling on my tongue, but I can't utter them. The shame of them is too horrible for me. Here, let me write.
Oh, she's mad. Do you hear, Viv? Mad. Come, pull yourself together.
You shall see. Paid of capital, not less than 40,000 pounds, standing in the name of Sir George Crofts. Managing Director, Mrs. Warren. And let's not forget about her qualifications. The two words.
Don't read it. Don't. It's all right, Viv. I read what you wrote, and so did Praed. We understand, and as this leaves us presently, we remain yours ever so devotedly.
I do indeed.
I must declare that you are the most courageously, splendidly wonderful young woman I have ever had the pleasure of meeting.
Don't stir, Viv, if you don't want to.
Oh, thank you. You can always depend on me for two things. Not to cry and not to faint. I shall go into the next room and make myself neat again.
Shall we go away?
No, I will be back presently.
What a revelation.
I'm extremely disappointed in Crofts.
I am indeed.
I'm not in the least. I feel he's perfectly accounted for at last. But what a faster for me, Praed. I can't marry her now.
Frankie! If you leave her right now, you will behave very despicably.
I can't bring myself to touch the old woman's money now.
Oh, and what was that you were going to marry on?
What else? I have no money, nor the smallest turn for making it.
But surely, a bright and clever gal like yourself can make something by your own brains.
Of course. I made all this in an hour and a half. Gambling. I shall be short on allowance for the next 20 years. No short allowance for Viv if I can help it. I withdraw gracefully and leave the field to the gilded youth of England. That being said, I shan't worry her about it. I shall leave her a note.
Frankie, I heartily beg your pardon, but must you never see her again?
Never see her again? Hang it all, be reasonable. I cannot understand the absurd consequences you romantic people expect from the most ordinary transactions. I wonder who this is.
Oh, my dear Kitty.
Come in.
Come in.
What? You're here, aren't you?
Here and charmed to see you. You come like a breath of spring.
Get on with your nonsense. Where's Vivie? Daddy, won't she see me, don't you think?
Oh,
I mean, where wouldn't she?
why should she not?
You're too innocent. Miss Frankie, did she say anything to you?
Only that she must see you if you wait for her to come back.
Why shouldn't I wait for her?
I'm afraid she'll tell you if you rashly await her return.
Do you want me to go away?
No, I always want you to stay, but I advise you to go away.
Oh, Praed, don't let her be so hard on me. If she sees I've been crying, she'll be so mad.
Miss Warren, you know Praed is the soul of kindness. So what do you think, Praed? Go or stay?
Mrs. Warren, I hate to cause you unnecessary pain.
But, at all events, I think you should know that.
Shit, it's too late. She's coming.
Don't tell her I was crying. Well, Vivie, here I am last.
Glad to see you here, Mother. You said you were going, Frankie, I think.
Yes. Would you come with me, Mrs. Warren?
Nonsense, Praed. My mother will stay here.
I don't know. Perhaps I'd better go. We're disturbing you at work.
Mr. Praed, please take Frankie away. Sit down, Mother.
Come with us, Frankie.
Goodbye, Mrs. Warren. You'd ever so much better have taken my advice.
Goodbye, Vivie.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Pleasant trip.
Well, Vivie, what did you go away like that for? How could you do such a thing? And what did you do to poor George? Of course, I told him everything was all settled and comfortable between us, and that we were on the best of terms. Vivie, what is the meaning of this? I got it from the bank this morning.
It is my month's allowance. They sent it to me as usual the other day. I simply sent it back and asked them to send it to you. In future, I shall support myself.
Why? Wasn't it enough? Why didn't you tell me? I'll double it. I intended to double it.
You know that's not the problem. Sir George Crofts has told me the whole business.
Oh, that's silly.
Just so!
But I explained to you.
You explained how it came about. You did not tell me that it is still going on.
Vivie,
I have no doubt you are very rich, Mother.
you don't know what riches means. It means a new dress every day. It means having your pick of all the men in Europe at your feet. It means having a lovely house and plenty of servants. It means anything you could want, anything you could ask for. And what are you here? A mere drudge toiling for bare living with 2 cheap dresses a year.
So that's how it's done, is it? You must have said that to all many a woman to have it so pat.
What harm am I asking you to do? You were brought up wrong on purpose. You don't know what the world is really like.
Talk wrong on purpose? What do you mean?
I mean, you're throwing away all your chances for nothing.
I shouldn't enjoy trotting about the park to advertise my dressmaker or carriage builder or being bored at the opera to show off a shop window full of diamonds. Wait a moment. I'm not done. Tell me why you continue your business now that you're independent of it. Your sister, you told me, has left all of that behind her. Why don't you do the same?
It's all very easy for Liz. She likes good society and has the air of being a lady. But imagine me in a cathedral town. No, it's no use. I can't give it up, not for anybody. See, I have to be constantly running about from one place to another. You'll be quit altogether of me when I die.
No. I am my mother's daughter. I am like you. I must work and must make more money than I spend. But my work is not your work. And my way is not your way. We must part. It will not make much difference to us. Instead of meeting one another for perhaps a few months every 20 years, we shall never meet. And it's all.
Vivie, I intended to be more with you. I did indeed.
It's no use, Mother. I'm not to be changed by a few cheap tears and entreaties any more than you are, I dare say.
You call your mother's tears cheap?
I wish you wouldn't rant, Mother. It only hardens me. Come. I suppose I am the only young woman you ever had in your power that you did good to. Don't spoil it all now.
Yes, heaven forgive me. It's true. Well, the injustice. I always wanted to be a good woman. I tried honest work. I really did. If I had my life to do over again, I'd talk to that lying clergyman in the school. From this time forth, I shall do wrong and nothing but wrong, and I'll prosper on it.
Yes, it's better to choose your line and go through with it. If I had been you, Mother, I might have done as you did. But I should not have lived one life and believed in another. You are a conventional woman at heart. That is why I am bidding you goodbye now.
Fine. Lord help the world if everybody took to doing the right thing. And now, I shall better go than stay where I'm not wanted.
Won't you shake hands?
No.